So I'm sitting at the trailhead, the bike trailhead, ready to get my long ride in, finishing up my training block here. My long ride is supposed to be 45 miles. I don't think that's happening. I've got my big hybrid bike today, and it's been on and off pouring all morning. I'm just going to try and suck up 20, 25 miles and call it a day, and then get into a nice warm house. I'm really procrastinating this. So started off this training block pretty strong. Had some aggressive goals. My fourth training block, week 7 and 8. Yesterday marked the official 6 months out from this race. So it's time to start getting serious here. I'm going to continue with my plan, which is to increase my mileage 2 miles every week. So this week on my runs, I'm going to go 2 11-mile runs. On the rides, I'm going to also increase those by 5 miles each, and that'll put me at 45-mile rides. My weight, I'm going to get back on track after last training blocks. I don't want to call it a disaster, just kind of backtrack. I woke up this morning at 185.8. I want to get back down to 182 over the next 2 weeks. I think that's totally possible. The reason I'm feeling so optimistic is I'm getting in shape now. And when I get in shape, it means I can go longer and harder, which translates to more calories. I'm feeling good. Of course, I'm only 1.5 miles into this run, so I'm always feeling good at that point. I should really film these when I got 1 mile left in my run, because it's a whole different ball game. I'm not as bright and cheery as I am right now. So let me start this week. Let me get after it. Bumping up to 11 miles was going to be a little bit difficult, but I was feeling confident that I could nail that. Well, it's Wednesday, the day after the election, and it's my long run, 11 miles. Like most Americans, I spent the wee hours of the morning watching the results. We still don't know them. By the time this video comes out, I'm sure we will. And things were stressful, not much sleep. It was a great excuse not to get up and run this morning. And I debated it, but I just kind of looked at my schedule. I'm like, if you don't get it today, you're really going to be time crunched by the end of the week to get all your runs in and your bike ride. So here I am, going slow, and working out a little bit of that stress from last night. Ended up getting 11.3 miles that day. I was feeling really good. I knew I had that bike ride coming up. With the weather changing, it wasn't going to be a fun one. Well, I'm 30 miles into my 45-mile ride today. It is cold. 35 degrees when I left, and it has not gotten any warmer. I think snow is in the air. Wearing 2 pairs of socks, and my toes are still numb. It's gonna be a long, long winter of doing this. But I'm the one who signed up for it, so I'm an idiot. The second week of the training block is always a little tougher for me, but I had a real interesting run on that Monday. Ooh, up until this point I haven't mentioned my pace or my speed, and it's because it's what you would think from a overweight 52-year-old, which is 11+ minute miles. I wasn't planning on taking up speed until about 4 months out, so about 7 weeks from now. Just wanted to get distance, even if it was slow. Well, today it was cold out, so I was like, ooh, let me go ahead and warm up by running a fast pace. I look at the first mile, I'm at 9:30. I'm like, whoa, how am I going so fast? But at that point I was like, let me just see if I can keep it up. So over my 5-mile pace, I ended up running a 9:44 average minute mile. It's out of this world. I didn't have one mile split under 10 minutes. I'm gonna be paying for this. I don't know how often I'll be doing this in the next few weeks because I'm gonna be in pain, but I'm gonna take it when I can get it. Wednesday came around, it was time to start my long run again, and I had a plan this time. On my long run today, which is 11 miles, the plan was to park the car down at the skate park. I've got a 5.5 mile loop I do from here, so I was gonna do that 5.5 mile loop. I was gonna go ahead, hydrate, and then go out and bust the next 5.5 miles out. Logically, physiologically, that's the perfect plan, right? Mentally, not so much. 5.5 miles 7 weeks ago was my long run. Mentally, that's still there. Knowing that I'm gonna stop at my car with all the excuses to go home, I just didn't want to take that chance. So I decided to add an extra 2 miles into that 5.5 mile loop, which puts me at 7.5. Now I only got 3.5 left to do. 3.5 I can do at a nice, easy pace. It's not gonna kill me. Mentally, I can get through this. So I think I chose the right solution this time. My whole plan has been about flexibility. And so as for my weight, I changed that plan. I was always trying to get that last second week to average over 7 days to hit my goal. In this case, it was 182. I decided that it would be a 7-day average of any days within these 2 weeks. It could be the first week, it could be the second week, it could be Wednesday to Wednesday, whatever it was. And I nailed it. I got 181.2. "24 miles. So, got my runs in good. I felt good about that. My weight, feeling really good about that. Out of the 2 long rides, 1 I fell short. It is what it is. Overall, I'd call it a success. As far as the riding goes, I'm gonna have to come up with a new plan. I've got an idea. It's not so much the rain of the winter that's causing problems, or is it the cold? It's just the light. You know, being up here, a lot of people don't realize Washington State is at the same latitude as Nova Scotia. So by the time the shortest day of the year comes in, I think we're talking about 6 hours of light. It's tough for me to justify getting on a bike for 4 or 5 hours on a weekend when I only got 12 total hours of light to get chores done and spend it with the family, etc., etc. So I'm gonna have to figure out a new plan for next training block and moving forward at least until February. But I've got some ideas. Thanks for joining me on this, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.